My Ghost Stories is a American TV program which follows the reenactment ghost story formula previously seen in Incredible Tales. So let's just see why I choose to watch this program. In hindsight, one might think My Ghost Stories is just any other ghost story program, but honestly, I think the Americans did it really well when they covered the Asian aspects. I mean, for the American demographic, the people who experience the hauntings are just stuck in a generic haunted house setting, and it's really lackluster when it comes to the diversity, because in the Asian side, we have so much, and the hauntings are so diverse. Because as long as someone dies horribly in a certain location, their soul will be tied to that place. Which is why I think Asian hauntings are way more scarier, because it's just a crazy and diverse range of just absolute madness and pandemonium. Not to mention the different mythologies that makes this place a melting pot for ghosts and paranormal activity. I mean, what other culture can make a seemingly harmless looking plumira flower a undeniable bad omen? Oh wait, I guess it's the Asian cultures. Which I guess is why I found My Ghost Stories Asia more interesting than the American version. As far as style points go, I think both actually do really well with the bluish backdrop, and I think it makes the interviewee pop whenever they do these segments. I guess you can call the blue backdrop like very synonymous with My Ghost Stories of both Asian and American demographics. I mean, like, for style purposes, yeah, I guess it works. The visuals of the reenactment actually makes it look extremely realistic, and also it is coupled by photos from the actual encounters, making it more credible. The ghosts themselves looks extremely real, and actually found myself not distinguishing between the actual actors playing the ghost and the actual entity in the story they're trying to talk about. Everything was done on set and on location, making the reenactment extremely authentic. My Ghost Story does a complete 180 when it comes to season 3, because their setting was literally Penang War Museum, and even know anything about that museum, fuck me dead, that place is haunted. The fact that these spirits in the museum actually go out of their way to express their discontent for people trying to reenact what they went through speaks volumes of itself. One of the spirits in this museum, which literally resides in the tunnels, and what I can only describe as a langsui or a banshee, literally freaked out a contractor to the point where the contractor had to bring fucking offerings. They literally scared someone to the point where they have to bring offerings. Fucking Rhino, man, calm down. Like, this is the level of hauntings I actually live for. I mean, they are so salty about their deaths, they're willing to haunt other people who disturb their resting place. This has to be one of my favorite episodes in the entire season 3 of My Ghost Story Asia. And which is why Penang War Museum is actually one of my dream destinations, so be sure to look forward to that video when it actually comes out. My other favorite episode of this series actually is a little closer to home, and it takes place in Pasir Ris Park Suicide Tower during the 7th month. So it went from an exchange of ghost stories all the way to a fucking paranormal investigation. And the best part is we actually have solid evidence. Here, let me show you. My initial reaction was, my, would you look at that? I mean, actual solid evidence the supernatural exists. I mean, kudos to Desmond Wong for actually being able to capture something like this. This is something you don't see every day. Literally, several spectral anomalies congregated in one section. I mean, honestly, what really drew me into this in the first place is the realization that I'm definitely not alone, and a lot of people have experienced this type of shit. I mean, I'm just naming 2 episodes off of the back of my head, but it really shows the diversity of hauntings for the Asian demographic when it comes to my ghost story. When it really comes to variety, I think the Asian demographic really stands out from the American one because of the diverse settings in which you'll find yourself being haunted, which is why I'm mostly drawn to the Asian aspects of my ghost story. I just love the fact they decided to provide solid evidence during their stories. It really brings a sense of credibility, especially when it comes to dealing with skeptics. This actually becomes extremely important when trying to talk about my ghost story caught on camera, which the majority, if not the entire stories, are actually based on like photographic and visual evidence. What really drives things home for me is the fact that a lot of stuff I see in these programs really hits home to me as someone who can actually see ghosts. I can physically see them like I see everybody else, and the fact that people are taking note of that is just amazing, so I give this a solid S tier. For those of you who want to actually watch this program for yourself, the American version is airing on Disney Plus, while the Asian version is still airing on the History Channel. Anyways, that's all I have to offer for ghost story related programs. Now we're just gonna move on to paranormal investigating TV programs because those are another can of worms I want to open. Anyways, be sure to look for that in my next batch of videos because holy fucking shit, I got a lot to offer. But until then, I guess I have to go. My name is Shirk Wanting. Keep venturing to the unknown. Signing the fuck off.